Thank you very much, fellas. Gambit versus Entropiq. Have we seen much of Gambit, Chad? Just personally, I don't think we've caught too much of their play so far.
We've been doing the Team 1 and Furia games.
Yeah, indeed. But Gambit this time up against Entropiq. And we'll get to see if Gambit are on their A game as they have been throughout this group so far. Very close game versus Liquid, testing them. And Entropiq, I still feel like they haven't necessarily met the expectations of this sleeper OP underdog.
Yeah, I might have a bit of a case to make about that after this pistol.
Well, let's see if the pistol can give us Entropiq with that 1-0 lead. You can see 1xBet favors Gambit by a very large margin, and we are maneuvering into an all-in B. You can have a smoke for the doors, flash through, Molotov perhaps for the plateau. Yeah, Hobbit safe from that, and Lackey's the first in. Doesn't go down just yet. Jakey is the observing, and that is too easy for Hobbit. Good God. Taps 2 heads. Lackey's done well with his 10 HP, and oh, he's actually pulled 2 frags out of that 10 HP Glock. He will go down now, but he's made it competitive after all, Chad.
Yeah, they would love to get that bomb down at least here for Entropiq to salvage this and get that 40-second starting B. Defenses, they're not too shabby unless Nafany just wants to have a look, and now he's on notice.
He is. Crossfire established now, so Elian and Nickelback tunnels is their main issue, and Elian aware of it. Elevated, hoping to try and keep the doors busy, and they are. Good finds, not enough.
Fluffed his lines.
He got a little too spray happy with the P250. Just one more bullet would have finished off Axile.
Can't be dropping the ball on that one right there, can you? Now, what I wanted to bring up here was the statistics for Entropiq in this Pro League, right? The highest rated player for Entropiq should be either Forrester or Elian, right? Those are the 2 names that should be at the top of the list. The name that is at the top of the list is Nickelback. Then it goes Elian, then it goes Crad, then it goes Forrester, right? And the reason I bring this up is because historically, if you look at the stats and the spread of how the players are rated, Elian is head and shoulders. Well, he's head. Shoulders is Forrester, and then the rest is Crad, Nickelback, and then Lackey down the bottom. We haven't been getting Elian and Forrester as the driving force for Entropiq. And, well, you say his name, and here he goes, out long. Forrester with 2 quick kills. I think he may have heard me.
I think he might. Supposed to be that second in the chain. Forrester does deliver when brings the pain. Look what it's done to Gambit.
Yeah, this should be a Gambit save, right, guys? You guys all know how this one goes.
Right?
It should be them just sitting on back, holding on to their goodies, giving another crack in the next round. Let's see, because there's been a few more 1vx Gambit scenarios lately. Even Shiro's been getting involved. Nice nades, but really not resulting in a whole lot there, just softening them up a little bit, and I think that's all. They had a look. If they get a HE frag or 2, then they might consider getting stuck in, but there you go. Minute on the clock.
Yes, starting to remember how the Gambit games can go.
So a lot of this savvy business here, but fantastic for Entropiq to keep everybody alive. Nickelback gets himself a Famous. You know, they're looking very, very good to carry this forward into the future rounds of play here. Now, Dust2 is the scalp that feels integral for Entropiq to take in this series if they want to push it to 3, if they want to have any conversation about winning this one and keeping their Pro League dreams alive. Gambit on the other side of things, they'd love to just get this done, just get it all locked in, get it all sorted, set yourself up tomorrow. You get to play for first, right? Make sure that that's all settled. Yeah, I mean, that's the ideal path, isn't it? Last game of the group, just for the seeding, trying to secure that skip of the round of 12. And it's certainly not out of the realms of possibility. Okay, Gambit, get another bite now. They're going to have another try. I'm surprised they haven't gone for a Shiro into a scout buy here. I thought that maybe would be a mix-up, because you could still rock something that at least resembles a gun around here. If Shiro had a scout, he could apply that as an AWP. But they've gone for Deagles on both Axel and Shiro here. So let's see. How potent can this one be from Gambit? I'm not expecting a lot, and that's for a very good reason. The buy is much superior on the Entropiq side. And he's trying his luck again, and it's worked out again. Hobbit's humbled. Nafany's added to the list. And Crad fully flashed. Maybe there's more from Axel's UMP. The answer is the resounding no. And I can't quite believe how quickly that full force has gone flat for Gambit. Yeah, it's an all-in, right? That long fight. You win it, you grin it, you lose it. Well, you're in a lot of trouble. And Shiro eventually lands the shots he needs to. But still, this should be okay for Entropiq. Forrester's low. Nickelback he could be in trouble. And Shiro is threatening right now. He wants to take the fight. He's going to be mollied out of position. He's dancing around with this one, Shiro.
Yeah, and it's enabled him to tag up another.
Lots of damage.
Softened him up. This FAMAS could do damage. And Entropiq, in the hot pursuit of the information, enters, reveals himself, and Forrester collects. So patience rewarded there, but also 2 for 2 on their long conversions.
Yeah, now I think we'll have to be making sure we keep an eye on when they're going for those long plays, who has the spawns, right? You've seen Forrester being able to get out there with openings in 2 rounds. We want to keep our eye on that. If Forrester doesn't have the long spawn, are they still going to go long? Are they going to change their tack? That's something that is really important here on a map like Dust2. On the other side of things, well, Gambit, they will just be down to an eco round. So a smoke for Hobbit, a HE for the likes of Axal, and USPs to Wield. And this is the type of round where you really should be expecting almost nothing. Elliot will not know that he's actually tagged on through the door there, so Nafany will have to reconsider. They've gone for long control Gambit, right? They went and stacked it. They smoked off from the car position towards the long doors to buy themselves a bit of a buffer. Now they've been able to rejig and re-maneuver over towards Cat. And if Entropiq are sloppy about how they take this territory, the USPs could get a kill or 2. You wouldn't be expecting much more. And now that, oh, the flames have tickled up Hobbit, here they come.
Oh, and that's as easy as that.
Yeah, 4 kills for Forrester. I think he definitely has been aware that he might have been lacking a little bit in some of these games. Stepping up early here. How many frags has he got so far? 7. So, the most in a server by a country mile, 4 ahead of anybody else. Crowd is the next closest on 3. But finally, and it feels like it's come maybe a little bit quicker than we would expect with these Gambit games, the buyers are out. So Gambit into the AWP with Shiro, and the same for Elian on the other side of things. So let's kick this one off.
All right, once again, they're going to be rampaging towards the long, and flash is perfectly timed. They get out. Axal retreats. So long supremacy won out early by Entropiq.
And look at how many nades they still have left, Alex. Still have a bunch of flashes.
Yeah, it was 1 flash pretty much.
Yeah, and they just extinguished 1 molly. So they've got so much room here with so little. This is great from Entropiq.
I love it. And using 1 more flash just to set him up in pit. They're looking for info mid. You can see Axar was going to try and test the water there. Krad's only got a Mach 10 to defend that, and now Nafany's coming around the corner, so that's Krad dead to right. Yeah, just scared me for a second. But they're going to have to propel themselves up long now.
Let's thrust them forward.
Shiro Zorp is holding that tight line, and util so far has been great from Entropiq, and one across is Forrester. Just takes 1, flashes again, a bit of a team flash to slow him down though. That's CT bullet through the smoke. Nothing to report. Shiro is posted up in that power position. But that's another one from Forrester. A boosted player loses his life or loses the base of his operation. Shiro's in jeopardy now. Nafany from CT. But that low HP is not stopping him. Doubled for both of the remaining Ts. And so Nafany can take this clutch. The health definitely, favored him, but now a tag and finished off nicely. Good recovery, and it's just the 2 of them. Forrester and Elian get the job done.
Yeah, the Stars stepping up in a big way here on the map pick of Entropiq. 4-1 the scoreline reads right now, and back into the questions that are Gambit CT economy here. Will have to be a save, but this was just handled, right? This was just a couple of nice shots. You think with the opening kill, yeah, okay, Gambit have the number advantage, but we know how difficult it is to stop this cross, to stop them from getting into the site. Well, they do a good job of making it like dribs and drabs, right? It's not just like that onslaught of Entropiq, but then they just come out on top of the kills. So might need to tighten the screws here a bit, Gambit. This is not going to be an easy win by any means.
Oh, no. No, certainly, and as the desk were pointing out rightfully so, is that in the domestic affairs, there often is a bit more of a competitive element. They're familiar territory for both teams.
There's a lot of things as well, right? When Yanko spoke even about the players being a bit more knowledgeable of each other, that's like to do with tendencies. Like, you might play with a bunch of guys and you know that one guy traditionally in a clutch situation will sit the defuse, right? That becomes a mind game, right? If you're going up against him, he knows that you know that he always sits the defuse, you know? Like those levels of things, they really start to compound, and we have no idea that they're going on. They're just going on within the server. That's the stuff that we're observing, but have no idea what it all means.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you get those crazy gamble stacks as well, as when you know a team just a little too well. Don't expect anything of such ilk into our 6th round. It's just the Desert Eagles and an armored P250. It is Nafany, though, with the armor, and He might be able to voice his concerns to Forrester's push. And he has, combined with Exile, that puts a weapon down. If they lose another, it's actually going to get a bit disastrous here. Nickelback playing with fire, and that's the chance. Now squandered. Pulls it back to the 4v4. Weapon, important priority to get dispose of. Going to juggle that back up the catwalk.
Shiro's going to have to glance for this every now and again, right? But it's all going to come down to timing here for Lackey. He's called this out to his team, who are now getting over to help him on out. Elian can establish here with the AWP, so oversight is in play.
Yeah, and that leaves Shiro's options very limited. I mean, he's just been spotted out as well and caught on the cross. Nice recovery out of Entropiq after losing to that aggressive CT maneuver there across the ramp. Axile's going to try and catch a timing if he does survive the initial cross.
Yeah, I think he's done with that. Getting on out very quickly here. Axile and Inters towards spawn. They're condemned, and Elian will just get them out of the server. No dramas whatsoever. 2 quick ones. Now it's just Hobbit to find, and
looking for that AK.
Yeah, sorry guys. Entropiq clean up after themselves.
Can our Rob's team find out where it ended up? It was up cat somewhere.
Yeah, so where do you reckon they threw it? I guess they could have.
The roof up there looks clear. Like the one above, the tarp above Suicide. We saw people use that before.
They could have even gone for like a really long
up
throw.
Here,
yeah, like up there somewhere.
That could be it. It's like a fun game for our in-game director to try and find.
I think it's gone.
Playing with Hobbit, yeah. No,
he can't find it.
Completely disappeared.
Okay, well this was, it felt like Elian had a sixth sense, right? To the fact that Shiro might be behind that box. So Lackey could have had a little bit of info on that previously on his push, but good stuff. The mandatory frag to find. And here we go again.
Good for it. 5 already in the T-bank.
Yeah, I think this is one where, you know, Gambit aware that they could just stomach this loss and then move on to Vertigo without too many qualms. But you never want to let a map just go quickly. Want to make sure you're warmed up here. And, wow, lots of action towards long. That's not where the finish is going to be. Smoke's lined up towards tunnels. Lurk, Smoke in exchange. So they're going to negate each other right there. But they are setting up for a mid to B split right now, and that would be the call because Inters is floating. Hobbit 2, it's just Nafany on the site on his lonesome. So if Entropiq stuck towards those mid doors, they would have been looking good. Right now they are postured a bit more for a cat take, just still garnering this map control. Bit at a time.
Just. Wow. Inters managing his angles very well there, just using the smoke. Evades Elian's gaze. And back to long. Now they've got a very aggressive setup here in the form of Exile. He's playing a lovely angle to the first, and now he can disappear. Oh, or aggress. Charging straight in. That's Nickelback with the bomb. He really can't afford to go down. We're at 45 seconds here, Chad. They're forced to flash out the long doors. Exile's done an awful lot for the time. And now Shiro's posted up as well. This just spells trouble. That'd be a brilliant flash, still pulls the trigger, and there's Exile as well. Looks back to regular scheduled programming for the Gambit CTs here.
Oh, keep everybody alive as well, so a nice clean one. That's a good response to have here early. Think about it, they're able to pick up that pistol round. Fortunate that Elian had a whiff from the window. And then since then, it's almost been one-way traffic for Entropiq. So good round here from Exile. You're getting to see both Exile and Shiro activated for a round like this. Oh, and Hobbit as well. Those are the 3 names you need contributing if you're a Gambit fan. Let's see, how many more rounds can they put on the board consecutively here? Because, oh, there's enough for Entropiq to get a buy in this one and the next. Straight down the ways will be Elian, posted up. Shiro on the other side of those doors.
Oh, and Elian obliges.
Thank you very much.
Can't believe his luck. He's taken down one of the most prominent figures of his opponent. No more Elian influence this time.
Yeah, you can see what Gambit are doing to deal with these long plays that they're still feeling the ramifications of early. They're doing a 3-man long lean with the rifles, and they're leaving one individual just to solo B and then coming up and mopping it up late, which they are establishing now. Inters yet to frag, will be locking down platform, and they're working their way out mid-door straight into Nafany, unloading with the AUG. He's going to find the first, gets away the nade, destined for damage on the second.
Yeah, falling apart now, isn't it, for Entropiq? Just one by one, they're falling. And Inters has dealt with the lurk out smoke. So, yeah, it leaves Forrester and Nickelback They've got a full minute to try and piece something together, but I think the best bet would be just a site take. They'd love to be getting that bomb down. Currently, the CTs are nice and spread out, so find this kill easily. Hobbit's not having any of it. And that's 2 spotless CT rounds back-to-back, Chad. So we're going to be seeing a bit of a economic flux now as we Uno reverse for Gambit's pursuit of glory.
Yeah, if Entropiq are able to get the bomb down in this one, then they might be able to dispel some of their woes, but this should be their last gun round before things get sticky. But this was just handled. Everybody quite comfortable in all their fights. I think the only individual that you may be asking, oh, can he get 2, was Hobbit on the site, right? That position could be easily isolated by an AK. But Forrester now, not hearing a lot from him. And if we do take the radar, guys, we can talk about those spawns we were going through before earlier, and that was where the success came in for Entropiq, right? Forrester running out long, getting a multi-kill, running out the next round, getting one, having Crad contribute. They don't have a long spawn right now. Right, you can see this lovely spawn camp. Elian, he is the only one. And as the AWPer, you either want to go for the long pick or you want to hold mid doors. Now, you don't know what the CT setup's going to look like. You don't know which one is the right call right now. Maybe nobody goes long. He goes, sits in the doors, looks like a bit of a tit, doesn't find anybody right now. So here we go. He is going for the long pick. We'll need his teammates to extinguish and flash for him. Nobody's fighting him. So, right, unless he pushes out blue bin, that's it. That's the move done.
Okay, opening move. Doesn't net them anything. Hobbit's got 1 too, though. He's actually pushing up for this.
What a shot.
Nickelback ready. Raring to go. Forrester, despite the shadow, does best. Nafany. And things shaping up nicely. Nickelback has been finished off by Shiro's orb through that door. The bomb does need to be retrieved. It's not necessarily a rush. Will Inters continue to push the limits of this B hold? If he goes down to Crad, they can charge into a mid to B here.
He's aware. Something's on the other side.
Oh, and that's the one. Surely Crad accelerates. Yeah, knife out, he knows. And and Elian's posted up to hold the rotate. So call this one 6.
Yep.
Great recovery.
And that came through Gambit's aggression. Gambit decided to change things up and take the fight a little bit more so to Entropiq there. So if they were expecting them back to the long play, right, and they were, okay, we'll go for a bit more mid-info, and if this doesn't work and it is the long play, we can flank a little bit quicker here, maybe establish exactly where the attack is coming in. Well, Entropiq able to grab themselves a very nice round, put themselves up to 6, and keep Gambit quite humble, right? They're not allowing things to get out of control. As you mentioned, that was 2 spotless rounds in a row. Well, this one, far from it. They have done enough, Gambit, to keep themselves in contention, and both teams actually now are going to be set for the next round or 2 of play. I think Gambit are the ones who we will just see more saves out of now that they are losing the sites. It's just how things go over on that side of the fence. But this was a nice shot, you know?
Super good, yeah, and that's the aggression you were talking about. And that death. A tough one for Nafany. Both of you hit in the head. His weapon's just a little better and cheaper.
The best of both worlds, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you do have to run through the choke point. So I guess...
Yeah. Forrester's at the front of this long peak. Let's have a look if Shiro's going to greet him with a bullet. Straight out the blue bin, and oh my lordy lord, he's showing no signs of slowing. That's the fight he's been waiting for, and again he profits. Finding the opener, sure, Shiro got the frag, but he's not committed up the site that he'd need a boost. And so for now, he just has to play the elevator position. It's really far from ideal.
That's so good from Forrester, right? Like the pace on that and the trust in his teammates' utility is denying the players who go aggressive long any ability to scamper back up the ramp into the site. If they want to do it, they'd have to boost. That's going to take time. It can get clunky. Comms can get really weird and janky. Forrester's 3 for 3 on that so far. This is brilliant.
Yeah, boost is up, and interesting they opt for Inters. Hobbit alongside for the ride. 2 CTs ready to receive on A, and no one's got the door locked. I think that's the Crad project right now, as he's just gone to make sure no one's in T-spawn or pushed up suicide, trying to get those clear.
Oh, he's playing a very passive role here. Going to smoke off Xbox again to sell something a little bit different here. And with Nafany and lower, he can confirm this, but it will peel him away from being able to help anywhere else.
Hobbit should be having this one dead to rights, and he does. Eliminates Crad. And the CTs are still here to receive you. They're not falling for any of your silly reindeer games.
Oh, Elian saw something then, it felt like.
He certainly did. Fired off a shot. There's 2 of them playing close to the smoke. These pot shots aren't far off, but standing their ground.
What a flash!
What a flash! Still, the vision's there for Hobbit, and again, an impactful double.
Okay. Well, we're willing to go round for round here. This is what we want to see, right? The grind from both squads is Gambit will find their fourth. That whole battle from Forrester out long, yeah, okay, he's not 3 for 3 in rounds anymore off of the move, but he's at least 3 for 3 in finding that space, finding that kill. They're going to get it again here. Now, you can see, just trying to keep things a little bit trickier, but Nafany's real estate that he held onto, they knew it wasn't going to be anything naughty, right? They were set up to deal with it in case it was, so yeah, Crowd getting punished there. Now, we do get an Entropiq buy for one more round. Alien even has backup cash here to get an AWP out in future rounds as well. Smoke to cross, and it is a closed doors smoke, right? So with it in play, oh, we're out long again. Hold your horses.
Oh, Nickelback straight through, and there's more around the smoke. Hobbit should have him, does have him, and another one from Hobbit. I think he truly is the knower of Counter-Strike. All his frags seem to come in pairs. And Alien, very, very brave. Nafany, he's 2 for 2 on that boosted position. He's been getting some freebies from it.
Oh, they're going to test Inters over towards B again. Nafany would love to get across this smoke, and, well, he will now.
Look at the angle from Inters. As you're worrying about sight and your crosshairs on that part of the clear, he plans to strike. And he even catches the mantle up. Powerful stuff. Forrester's patience is rewarded onto the first of Nafany, but yeah, Enter's angle has already proved too much for Crad to handle.
He's still isolated, old Inters here.
Yeah, he is, but you'd have to have a magnificent first bullet, and Inters deals with it. Call it 5. Gambit closing that gap. It was quite the big gap at one point. I think it was 5 to 1 after that pistol. Just posting the pistol and then the following 5 from the boys of Entropiq.
They've been able to deal with the long take now. So that is really going to send shockwaves down Entropiq, right? Because that has something that had worked for them time and time again. Now they've been denied, right? So I was like, okay, if we return to that, maybe they've figured out, do we have another quirk that we can lob on in here? Now, Alien keeping himself conservative. Didn't go for the hero AWP in the classic James fashion. He's just gone for a scout here. Gives him 2 cracks with the scope rifles in back-to-back rounds. Nafany should be very careful right now because there's 1 player on the other side of the doors. There's 2 towards lower dark, and there's 2 top middle. If he was to pick, he might have all 5 peering in his direction. But the back and forth tug of war for mid doors control, I think it will be relinquished here by Gambit. They don't need it right now. They have 2 players over towards B. They not have any worries over towards A, and Nafany playing spoiler here up close and personal. Different angle on the similar box.
Yeah, this time he lets them in the doors. It's the cross here where he starts to strike, and when unarmored, those legs more than enough.
I thought he was asking for a flash there to kind of reinitiate, but he's just tucked his head down. It sent them packing, and now they're going back towards B, and this is where Shiro's waiting. So his AWP trained on upper dark.
Yeah, he doesn't miss these either. Deals with the Alien scout. And 1 by 1 they fall. Looks like Gambit have certainly started to heat up on this defense. And Shiro just not hesitating at all to collect those final frags. It's 3 in total from him. No resistance, no nades. 1 by 1. It's exactly what he would have looked for.
Yeah, it made it look easy there. You know, great stuff. As this is, I don't want to say like the last-ditch attempt for Entropiq, because as we know, Dust2 can get scrimmy. But right now, Gambit have over 5K on 4 of their members. Right, so for the tail end of this half, they should be sitting pretty good. Shouldn't be too many worries about how competitive they can be.
Yeah, Gambit CT side lockouts definitely already making quite a name for themselves. Here comes Forrester. Will he find more impact? He's charging and finding another, not 2. Damn, Forrester. That is impressive. Axel surely going to be punished for that. They're hunting for you. Shiro will deal with another. Ready for the aggressive hold of long. They contest and they leave with the man advantage. Alien trying to accelerate up short. Shiro's already posting up.
Oh, good molly. It's going to push him back.
Yeah, he has to respect that. And they go for a war back towards CT. So it's interesting that they're so ready and willing for those initial fights, but now would rather just partner up and play retake A.
Oh, look how passive Crad is in pit right now. He's just basically hidden at this juncture.
Imagine.
Oh, Alien has a pretty good idea here.
It's not an easy one for the AWPer, and just shy Axile pulls another frag out. Surely that's information, the name alone. Axile, the A player, long player.
Oh, Shiro, be careful.
Loudly, and still doesn't matter.
Oh, you see Krad's reaction there?
No, I missed it.
It's kind of how he just kind of closed out. Like, well, yeah,
that's on me.
That did happen.
That's reality.
Cool, I guess.
Look at the way this started, bro. I saw Forrester leaping. Like, you saw how he fired a couple of bullets and then realized, never mind, close the gap as fast as I can. Nafny wasn't expecting that, but I don't know if the boys from Entropiq.
I hope that wasn't a mouse wheel for Nickel back there.
Could have been.
That would have been a rough way to go down. How does... Yeah, look, it feels like Shiro has a lifetime to put that one in place, doesn't he? All right, yeah, just catching old mate off guard. There's Hooch.
Yep, I think that was Hooch reaction to Krad as well, actually. But,
poor guy.
No, look, this is a competitive half, and that's courtesy of the fact that they managed to post that 6 so early into the piece. I mean, like, they had 6 on round 7, so it has been a Gambit clawback. My question is whether or not we'll get to see that gap close any more from Entropiq. We have got a bit of a conservative one here. It's going to be some Kevlar and some Tech 9s.
Wouldn't mind seeing just like a bit of a mid to B type maneuver here, right? That's normally when you have the Tech 9s in play. You know, you get your lower dark control, or you could just do an all-in B, right, where you set up the doors smoke, you have the lurk smoke like they tried on Pistol, I believe it was. They weren't far from pulling that off, so giving it a rinse and repeat. No dramas.
Early smoke, though, and Inter's... Oh, he's got it so ready. That's the perfect HE. The flash is good, though, and it does enable them to enter the site. Pretty much unscathed here, Chad. There's a problem for Shiro. Nafny's caught one through the door spray. If they find another, it's game on. But with that weapon recovered, the site is theirs. Util dumped, Forrester evasive. There's still a smoke on the doors. Axile taking a long time around the world, but it's worked out for the Tons player. Oh, they're going for this, I think. Gambit really do want to fight tooth and nail for this. They got the funds. Still plenty of time on that bomb as it ticks. 2 from Tons, 2 from doors. They push out. It's what Nafny was waiting for. Oh, he takes them all down. The pressure coming in from Tons. They all flood into Nafny's crosshair, and he just mows them down.
Nice Leica bash there for Nafny. It's good when they come to you. You don't have to do that hard work. And there you have it. Gambit win the half. And I think that might even be good for 9 here. This was similar to the pistol round strategy that just didn't have the Lurky Boy smoke in play. Inter's nade, right? If that was half a second earlier, it lands on 4 of them. I think it only landed on 1 of them on the tail end of all that. So a little bit unfortunate timing.
Yeah, great recovery, though. I mean, losing the B site, Nafny catching one stray bullet through the doors on the cross, through the smoke. Certainly helped them. We do have double AWPs in play, actually. So Inter's was dispatched towards long. Axile, with a quick use of his util kit, has maintained control of long. Hobbit loves these little early walks up short, hoping the Molotov will force him off, and it has. Good use of util.
I kind of feel like they want to go late long here, just with the formation we're seeing from Entropiq right now. 3 players towards the back of Cat, not doing a whole lot, while Forrester... Oh, Nafny, you gotta be careful with that. Krad's chunked you down.
Hobbit flashed off the line and drops off. So he'll be slipping back up towards the ramp, trying to tuck in. There's so much time, but it looks like they want to go now.
The inter-secondary AWP, it's a curious one, isn't it?
Yeah, he could get run over. Hobbits and Goose, they've just cleared out the tunnels. Well, there's a lot of bodies here. Inters does have to extinguish and has failed to do so. He'll play around the smoke regardless, but he's lost Hobbit. So this AWP really does have to do something now. The rotate's on its way. The cavalry are coming. Survival perhaps is priority.
Oh, booty sticking out there.
Yeah, didn't connect. Shy. And this is a big chance now. Forrester as it fades. Can't quite find the second, so Axile lives on long. Lackey planting safe. They can boost for this. Lackey a second away from his death. Oh, the taps are off. And he's got the frag. It's all onto Lackey, looking the wrong way. Gambit end out the half with another spree of their own design. That's 6 on the trot from Gambit. Closing the gap and then some. 9 to Entropiq 6. We're going to catch our breath, take a quick one, and we'll be right back with the second half of Dust2.
Future Pros. For this episode, I'll show you a neat little smoke that would help you when retaking B. This smoke will completely block off the B tunnels. To do the smoke, run into this corner next to the truck. Aim as shown, then jump throw the smoke. If done correctly, the entrance to B tunnels will be completely obscured. Make sure you don't have a teammate planning on going through tunnels, as he is going to be one angry retaker if that is the case.
Subdivine. I'll show you how it's done. There's no sides, we go inside. The man, he is the one. You build your walls with faith in God. They never come around. Then wonder why we all defy the burden to be born. We're coming home with a mission.
So Chad, let's just say I want a competitive series. Okay. All right, it's Gambit. I want to be able to see at least an intense map. Maybe even I get 3. How realistic is Entropiq here, digging their heels in and pulling themselves out a W on what our analysts called a compulsory win?
Yeah, if you check the track record between these two teams, last time they played on Dust2, Entropiq did win. That was at the EPIC League. And on their CT side, they managed to get 7 CT rounds to the 1 of Gambit to win the game. So they've done it before. There's a chance they can do it again. This time not with the same buffer.
No, and a CT lockout, not easy to achieve. Pistols definitely need to go your way, and an armored CZ on Nickelback may not be necessary. Forrester's pushed the tons on his own. He's got Nafany with the bomb at T-spawn confirmed. Nickelback in support. You know what? I think they might have to go somewhere else, Chad.
Yeah, me too. This is looking really, really poor for Gambit out the gate. Not only have they lost a player, they've lost Chiro's HP. He's going to have to hope for a couple of taps. Nelly, well, wildly missing there is we have the 1x bet odds at the top of your screen. You can see clearly favoring Gambit here, but Entropiq with a better shot than, I suppose, what Team 1 were in their series.
Yeah, here they come, though, and they've gone for a double cast setup. Forrester to be baited in.
Yeah, they've won this.
If he takes one, Lackey, if you could just give me one headshot,
if they molly him,
die. Forrester, screwed, I thought. He burns, but he took one with him, and that should be enough. Here comes Hobbit, he has arrived.
Hello, everyone.
Armor when you've got Hobbit's Glock. He switched over to the P250, and now with Lackey down.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. And 40 seconds. It's not like that bomb's going to be impossible to retrieve. Nickelback, you can't flub your lines here. It's a balance he has to strike between aggression and containment might be the priority with Hobbit glancing doors. 30 seconds, even a smoke on him to try and provide some cover on the cross. Nickelback now timing this to perfection.
It's the CZ at range.
Easy peasy. Oh, Hobbit left to do it all and just doesn't really have the health. Nice collections from the boys of Entropiq, and that's step one if you want to get that CT side lockout as you did previously.
Yeah, and that's great because not only, right, did they win the pistol just here, they may have lost the pistol in the first half, but they won the force fight and then the conversions. So their starts to games, even though the scoreboard doesn't reflect it perfectly, has actually been pretty good. They just need to be able to hold back whatever Gambit are looking to throw at them for round number 17. And, well, this one here, I don't think Gambit could fight their way out of a wet paper bag with 5 Glocks versus the likes of 2 MP9s, 2 Famouses, and a Scout.
No, nor I. Looks like fun, though. If you're Nafany, you get to play a whole new position.
Yeah, if you go and you watch that video I was telling you guys about with Elige and the voice comms, I think at one point on Vertigo, like, Fallen's like, oh, they're just baiting out nades, right? Like, they even could identify against the ecos of Gambit, like, what's going on, right? So we all know what's happening right now. This is basically just a formality. The only way that you can really mess this one up is if you were to walk into them.
Yes,
and not shoot.
Krad has resisted that temptation.
You can tell, though, he wants to
he's very, very leashed right now. He's chomping at the bit to have a go. And, oh, the catapult successful. Nafany was sent across, and now the Scout of Elian gets a couple of targets.
Just for everybody at home who wants to be an All-Pro Scouter, you have to wiggle it.
It's a wiggler.
If you don't wiggle it, I don't think the bullets actually hit. See?
Didn't wiggle.
Oh, he didn't wiggle?
No.
Well, the bullet didn't hit.
That's it. That explains it.
Give us a wiggle.
Concrete evidence. There's the wiggle. Oh. Well, a clean one from the boys of Entropiq up against the Glocks, as you would expect, and now we get the bonus type situation. Everyone gets a full belt of util, but you're up against AKs with Scouts, SMGs, and FAMAS.
I don't mind what they just did with the CT pistol, where they had so much dark presence. If you can get the SMGs in there or the FAMASs in there, right, that's not bad. You're going to completely deny that. It's obviously a risky maneuver, but one that I wouldn't mind seeing thrown on out. And they will take a timeout, actually their 3rd timeout of this map already, just to have that discussion. Because if you win this round, you are setting yourself up for success here in this second half, so take it seriously. We call it a bonus round. Realistically, it's a round you'd love to win.
And yeah, and let me reframe it as well. Like, in terms of just the longevity of your defensive half, if you not only win the bonus round with the bonus guns, you end up leaving with armored AKs and no investment into the following, it really does propel you into a winning stance. So this is a big one for Entropiq, and that's why the timeout's certainly justified, just to make sure your head's screwed on right. Your pitch, Chad, I'd gobble it up in a second. You know, lower tons presence. I know that T's will jiggle for that lower tons rush. I don't know whether or not that's going to be...
Oh,
no, it's not being held.
On the B side here, Alex. Maybe something aggressive tunnels now.
Elian aggressively posting up mid.
Hello.
They're going for it. And, oh, Nafany giving a warning shot across the bow.
There's 2 of them on the left side. They are both...
Want to buy
they were both isolated.
Molotov, and their smoke actually saves their hide.
Oh. Wow. Okay, they got away.
This is brave.
Very brave. There's so much long space right now, and Gambit aren't anywhere near it. If they only knew.
Oh, and there's some info for the Tons players there, and as the hinge smoke's dropped, Elian makes it clear there is that mid-door scout they'd have to overcome. He's aware that the little pixel jump up.
It's still just Krad on A. Like, Elian's coming over now, but it's a pretty weak A defense at this juncture.
Just gonna walk out. Yeah, and so blind, caught on a reload. That's just a perfect summation of how caught out they were. Maybe he's gonna not clear the site. Yeah, Hobbit's looking the wrong way, and it enables Krad for 1. 1 is all. And that bonus discussion now becomes something very different. Forrester and Nickelback to try and hold on. They've even parked Inters in the tons, dude.
Yeah, I think right now, if you're Entropiq and you push up a dark and you can find Inters, that's probably the best of this bad situation. They'd love to hold on to the Famouses. Now, they're not the best rifle, but they're also not the worst. So as we sit here with the bomb down, already halfway ticked, it's a question of, does Inters want to have a peek? And I'm going to tell you guys, oof, Inters is the type of supportive player who won't. He will do his job. He will be the soldier that you need. He knows his role. He knows exactly what he has to do here. He's not going to overstep the mark. He's not going to allow them to get away with anything. He's putting up a dark and he'll contain them. So, As far as Inters went, that is one of the most exciting rounds you'll see him play. He loved that. He loved that. That's the type of round that Inters, you know some of you like long walks on the beach, or you like, going out for a fancy... Inters likes containing the upper dark push and not moving.
Yep.
He loves it.
Like, he has dreams about this. He's like, oh, no one here. And he sees Hobbit's name in the feed, and he's like, oh, good day in the office. Good day in the office.
Done my job. I hope Inters doesn't become the new Sanji.
Well, we need one, at the very least.
Yeah, you're right.
I think Sanji's the original Sanji.
Yeah, no one else can be Sanji.
No.
He does represent an entire nation.
He does.
All right, well, same again by the looks of things, guys. Dark presence down towards lower, hinge smoke drop, short control being worked on, and well, this time the buy is a little bit more potent from the Entropiq boys. Those Famouses looking tidy, but the rifles much sweeter, as Elian won't get forced off until the flash comes through. I spoke too soon. His bullet gives up the AWP in play right now, so transitioning back towards the mid doors to see where he can find, but all in all, the back and forth nature of this is gonna peel Elian wide. He's been spotted, they've dropped on in. This is really dicey stuff.
Oh, he's got it and got away. Re-aggressing? Dry, blinded off and hunted down.
Punish.
Hobbit punish immediately, and Nickelback forced to drop off defensively. They've lost a lot of space here on A. The smoke on short gives Crad just a little bit more of a voice in this round. You just realized now.
No nades. It's like maybe he's wanted to flash in or something, but nobody could help him.
Dry. The well is run dry. And, well, the clock is 2. 30 seconds quickly becomes 20. You really do have to hurry up, and Crad slowed them down even further. Need another here. Crosshairs positioned well. Shiro's just better, and now a FAMAS separating Nickelback
He could still spoil this.
from Glory. He has to be good on the first, and is... Oh, Nickelback does more than you could have demanded of him.
That's the round.
It is, and Shiro might die after time here, if not before. Ooh, he spilled himself out of trouble there and thought about it for a second.
Nickelback was like strafing back and forth in the open for a moment or two there, so... Oh!
Sheesh.
Shiro almost cutting him off at the pass, so both will survive. Bigger questions now about the economy of Gambit and Entropiq are really in the position right now to scramble together a buy to get the AWP back in Elian's hands, but it's still going to be pretty weak for some players. This was great from Crad. This was better from Nickelback. Really good shooting. And this was the almost moment there as they grace each other's screens for a millisecond. But the buy's back in. Deagle for Inters, Shiro onto the scout, rifles for the rest, and Nafni laying bullets down range. Crad will get this long control. Smoke to secure it, and that information will now be Gambit's to play with.
Decoy orb. Intimidating at the very least.
Wow. Okay, Hobbit. Slow your roll here, mate. There's an AWP on the other side of those doors.
They are posturing for B.
Yeah, I think right now, Hobbit can flash and take this short control, but that's it. If he wants to swing and fight the site, it will be dry. And he's done exactly what he was tasked to do. He has now pulled Elian over to respect A. So Elian can no longer contribute for this mid to B. It's all on Forrester and Lackey, who are starting to push up the tunnels.
Yeah, mission accomplished, really. Lackey had a bit of a nightmare previously trying to hold this B site. He's just jiggling that smoke, and he's safe from the flashes. But, dude, that's such a delay on the smoke. He goes down, and they're already ahead. Poor Forrester handed a bit of a dud hand and call this one quits. Call this one 11. Save what you can.
It's insane that the one flash of Hobbit drew Elian over, and now, well, yeah, poor Nickelback. It just was a little bit of a delayed response. He's gone. Elian shouldn't be too long for this world either. Look, they've completely cottoned them off here. Hobbit has been everywhere this round. Hello.
Oh, no. He jumped straight past Crad. Another nightmare for him on the doors.
Long Hut is his nightmare right now.
He's going to get a flashback to that tonight. And right to hunt, but it costs him his life and his AWP. That's perfect from Gambit. I mean, it's textbook from Gambit. They were light on util, but they managed to sell and force rotates with a $200 grenade.
Oh. Losing that previous round, it doesn't feel so bad now when you see what Entropiq's buy is about to look like. And yeah, Lackey just overcooking the pooch right there.
I've seen it multiple times of him getting exploited on that B jiggle. Like, I haven't seen it work once. He gets the info and then he kind of bumbles it off
a bit late.
Starts climbing up the climbing frame.
And he's dead.
And he's dead.
He's dead. All right, well, here's an aggressive move. Nickelback, I think he's fed up of being dealt the dud hands.
Oh, unfortunately, this one's going to sour the mood even further. Shiro ready for it. Your casual, leisurely stroll up mid's about to be cancelled as well. Crad, Nafany fancies his chances. Ooh, okay. Will he get away? I don't think so, and neither does Nafany. Problem solved. Don't you go dying on that site, Lackey, because Forrest is making a competitive round out of this. Just survive. Inter's trying to be as intimidating as possible. Here comes the whole Gambit squad. It looks a little rushed. Maybe there's some kinks in this. We could see the boost of the AK from Forrest, though. He'd be able to contribute. Get him up. Get him up. Now it's his first contact. I'm not sure how much has been heard. There's the bullets. Forrester does deliver. That's huge. And the Deagle keeps Hobbit at bay as well. He's so low. He knows where they are, though. So one well-placed bullet could change the entire state of affairs. Just like that, it falls. And he can plant safe.
Oh, look at the bodyguard, Shiro here.
Bomb has been planted.
They haven't heard from Forrester in a while, so the short presence, the long presence, Shiro will have to worry about that. And that's the gap to boost for Hobbit. Go on, lads. Now they've found him. Isolate. It's not planted for Shiro either. If they use the
boost and
full health defuse. Elian should have this. Forrester's done so much for the squad.
He's not even peeking.
And sure, you'll get the first, but what's he supposed to do about the next one? He'd have to close the gap, get his Nikes on, running for the off-angle, pistol in hand. Oh, he puts his back to him. And what the bloody hell was that? He gives it to him. Just takes his hands off the bomb and concedes.
Whew, okay, getting a bit of heat in this one here. Elian with a tough choice to make, with the AWP, right, carrying that one through. Sure, it's not worth a round in the previous. Maybe he can make it worth a round right now.
Oh, I loved it as well. Like, everything they were doing was so well-informed. Played out perfectly until this moment. Look at the defuse. I mean, he knows he's dead. Yeah. He knows he's dead to the P250. He'd rather take the kill and the AWP, and fair play to him. It's something out of what would have been just a brutal loss.
If he can find some picks here, still a chance, right? Entropiq are down to just pistols. Forrester upgraded the rest. Basically eco, and there you go. That's what you need from the save door.
That's huge. Run around the world now. Go wherever you want, mate. That will slow Gambit down. Returning to the doors, partnered up with Crad. And going for a sweep. Ooh, Nafany, they may have heard that close doors. Shiro, however, one of the B defenders. They're returning through the lower tons, and Crad gonna be hearing a lot of that. Oh, Nickelback, unfortunately, though, doesn't do anything with his USP.
Timing on this.
Timing is something. Crad spotted. Elian should have this one dead to rights now. Just as I say that, Inters disappears off into the B site to secure the round.
They might get stuck here. The bomb's in T-spawn.
Yeah, if Shiro does get caught, we were talking about a real chance here. Elian awakens.
That's 2 off.
One close, has to hit it, doesn't. Nafany bails Gambit out of trouble. God, that was a real opportunity. And it just slips by the wayside.
Oh, wow. Like, if Crad could have got his hands to that AWP from Shiro, they could set up 2 AWPs in T-spawn. You've all played 32-player Dust2 matches before. You know how bloody crazy it can be with AWPs in T-spawn. So, a competitive one. But I'm fed up with saying that. I've said it every team one game.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that anymore. I want to see something. Come on, Entropiq. You're so close. You're giving this one a good crack. And oh, Nafany, 19 kills for him. Having a bit of a field day in the server right now. Nafany with 19, 19 for Shiro, 17 for Hobbit. Good stuff.
Do you know what I think is amazing as well is how quickly the community has observed and appreciated what Nafany brings to his team in the server. Like, I was reading a thread of just like, give me your Dream 5, like your Dream 5 CIS roster. Nafany featured in almost all of them. Like, I mean, it makes sense, of course, when you've got the world-ranked #1 for the majority of last year. In-game leader, why not take him? But yeah, he does seem to be a prime example of the new breed of leader who can indeed have those pop-off games as well.
He gets to play the fun Counter-Strike.
He does.
I think that's the cool thing when you see an in-game leader like Nafany. He's getting to play the brawly CS. He's being set up by his teammates, and well, you're about to see that as he's trundling towards long. Waiting for the flash, so this will be an explode, and go.
Caught out, and booked. Forrester, a taste of his own medicine. Crad trying to pull the ripcord, and the spray's brilliant, actually. It actually caught Nickelback significantly. Lackey, in the meantime, calling tons clear. That is a boatload of information for the CTs to have so early. But it seems it might be misinformation.
Yeah, I feel like Lackey has to just chill in lower dark, right? He needs to do what we saw Nafny do in a previous round where he just picks either upper or lower tunnels and just sits. He can't, well, commit to anything. He doesn't need to. Elian, aggressive, uses that Xbox smoke against them here and takes Shiro down.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. If they find Nafny before the rest of these boys connect.
Well, Hobbit's not going to hard clear this, I don't think. Yeah, no way, Jose. Okay, 13-10. We are done and dusted with that round, and wow, Gambit, through the tight nature of these last few, have been left in a sticky situation. A conversation needs to be had. I think we will be looking at a safe round. In the next round of play, they'll only be getting the $1,900 loss. It will be enough for them to get a purchase, and that's why this one, you won't see too many investments whatsoever.
What's the most literal sticky situation you've been in?
The time I had to go down with Carmack.
That was I think you should elaborate. Just so you know.
Yeah, I should maybe elaborate on that one.
Just elaborate a little more than that one. You went down on Carmack?
No, I went down with Carmack.
With Carmack?
Yeah, it's a different situation. No, so we had the caches, and Carmack likes to conspire.
Oh, God, yeah.
So we conspired against Carmack. But unfortunately, he used his judo.
He did.
And we couldn't get him down. So I'm laying there. I've got Carmack in my grips, and I'm like, just take me with him. Just take me with him, and we're throwing the.
What were we trying to throw him onto? A bed of cream
pies. Yeah.
A bed of cream pies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that, and I remember he had his favorite pair of like H&M dad jeans.
He had his favorite jeans. I think I'm sorry that I wrecked the jeans. I didn't want to wreck the jeans.
You did, Chad, and you were entirely responsible.
But then I did the desk segment in a towel.
Yeah, I just remember the bathrooms in, was it Sydney or Australia?
Yeah.
It's covered in like chocolate and cream.
Yeah, and I'm getting out of my ears and
I posted a photo at one point. It was just like your shoes covered in chocolate sauce.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a really fun situation.
That's the stickiest situation I've been in.
That's not bad.
What's yours?
Oh, well, I can't beat that. It can't beat the bed of cream pies. I think it was probably back in my Warhammer days.
Okay.
You know me. I'm not the most coordinated. I don't think I have the steady hands of a surgeon.
Okay.
So when it came to the super gluing of my
figurines,
wait for it, Space Wolves.
Space Wolves.
Tank.
Space Wolves tank.
It was a tank for the Space Wolves. Yeah, it's a Space Marine spin-off. But yeah, I was building my tank, and I ended up kind of gluing pieces of plastic to various parts of my hands.
Okay. These things happen.
Yeah, it was a sticky one, for sure. Let's get into it, though, because, well, perhaps Entropiq are going to be sticking around here on Dust2. Nickelback again with this aggression. First Ellie, and now Nickelback. That was enough, actually, and he's right to pull the plug on that. Lower Tuns had just arrived, and now we'll play much more of a passive setup.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the answers can be for Gambit right now. You'd love to just see them get a bit of cat control and go for a set piece. See if they're able to execute in a 5v5. They're working on exactly that, as Nafny will drop the hinge smoke. You're seeing the rinse and repeat here, ladies and gents, but they need to make sure they take their time. You don't want to rush this. Look at the setup, though. Look at Entropiq's setup. They're very ready to fight this. They've given up long. They're not spotting it whatsoever. 2 players ready and raring. You've also got Crad down towards spawn to help. Elian, oh, he's moved away, and whatever's signaled that, it's actually going to leave a bit of a gap now, because Shaw is ripe for the taking here for Gambit.
Yeah, you can see the changing of the guard. They send Nickelback long doors, and we'll have Elian to provide any support they may desire. Mid to B smoke, counter incendiary, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Crad does have flashes. If he's a bit too fast about this, he will be caught out.
Where are we going, though? We've only got 40 seconds. Well, 30 now.
Yeah, well, Lackey gets the contact flash through from Crad. Lackey, more impact. Justifies the AK in his hands in a large way. Shiro trying to bail his team out, and he will deliver the first, but the smoke's going to fade. Inters is into B. Forrester has to do damage from this car position. Forrester has to do damage, and has. Axel with the bomb. He's only got 10 seconds. Has to either survive. Playing for his life here. And not even getting that. Great defense.
Oof, and that's going to mean that we should see things tied up at 13-13 here. Really starting to fall apart now, Gambit. And we've spoken about the potency of Entropiq CT side last time these two teams met. Well, they haven't been able to hold them at the door. They've let them in, but now they're showing them how it's done. Lovely shooting here from Lackey. You don't see too much from him, but they're important kills. That's some impact right there. And you know what, man, we'd love to see a bit of impact from Inters. You know, in the first half, I can make do with the CT side positions. Here on the T side, only 5 kills to his name. Would love to get him at least knocking on the door of the double digits. A timeout called. Just maybe to have a bit of a breather here, because in the next round of play, the 2,900 loss bonus will come on through. I feel like you'd love a plant here, wouldn't you, Gambit? You'd love to just get that bomb down. Maybe have one of those moments where Axel and Hobbit get a Deagle kill apiece and make the round seem threatening, because there you were stalled out. You couldn't get anything through, and now you have to go up against the double AWPs. Lackey equipping one, Alien still with his. And Entropiq looking good for the home stretch.
Yeah, I really wouldn't fancy your chances of getting the bomb down.
Okay, there we go. That's the first.
Yikes.
Now we just need an Axel Deagle.
Well, yeah, Hobbit kind of starts Alien's life off with a bit of a kick in the dick. And trying to deny that weapon. He's patrolling now. Doesn't want to let anyone slip through the doors. I mean, that's a well-placed nade. It should do damage. Has nothing to report. They're slipping up short.
Nafi's trying to pinch the M4. Nafi stole the M4.
He's actually got it from... That's actually...
What a heist.
Yeah, and he's pulled away. He gets away with it. Thanks very much.
Okay, well, Forrester, now you have no choice but using the AWP.
He's an AWPer now. Decided by Nafni. Here they come. Forrester tested. They're swinging in, and on the repeat, it's easy for them to collect.
Okay.
Getting threatening here, Chad.
They're lucky towards B with the AWP and Hobbit.
Wait,
where's his Deagle gone?
Where's his Deagle gone?
Would have loved the Deagle there, wouldn't you, Hobbit?
Bloody well loved it. Well, maybe Inters is going to finish it off with a bang, and whew, saved by the Crad. We call it 13. Everyone can take a nice sigh of relief.
Oh, no.
Gambit threatening regardless of what they're equipped with. But I mean, you know, let that one wash over you. We'll see it again from Hobbit, the super slow-mo style points indeed. Yeah. And this is the heist as you described it. Yeah, perfect pickup, just ninjas it away.
Okay.
But we've got a competitive Dust2 here, and I'm intrigued to see if the double ops will be rewarded. Lackey's equipped with his, and it does mean that there's a very bare-bones B defense initially. What is going on here? Hobbit mantles straight into Nickelback. And on the ascent is another Nafani, looking to once again maintain control of the short position. He's ahead of any utility thrown out, so maybe that smoke is enabled to walk up here that will lead to a very surprised Nickelback. His toes are visible, good finds, but Lackey activated. Axel's taking the bomb long here.
Yeah, he's got to get through Lackey at car, and Elian is also over towards the side. Yeah, this is about to get weird.
It's going to get really fruity. There's some weird gap. Lackey's not really addressing it. The smoke is guys, the walk up from Axel. This is going to be an elephant. Wait, what? An elephant? Axel strikes 2 from behind, and maybe even a third as well. Oh dear, Entropiq booked. And a gap by their own design. Lackey's smoke obscured the walk up. And that is a harrowing way to lose the round. Will they lose? Forrester perhaps can tip the scales back in their favor. 2 to find. A well-placed incendiary.
Oh, I like this pressure.
And now some headshots.
Whoa.
Just shy of the mark into the shoulder. Instead, it is 14 for Gambit, but I do want to address that one more time.
Wow. Wow. That just maneuver in the beginning, right? The aggro short, where they get the free kill on the Hobbit, that just feels really strange, right? But this here, Lackey's dropped that smoke so that he doesn't have to be susceptible to long. But he, with that smoke, has given Axel clear passage to Car to get 3 kills and call it 4 on the way out the door.
Oh,
that right there, poor Lackey, man. It's going to be coming back to bite him after all of that. They weren't expecting that whatsoever. Nobody focused long.
I mean, Axel had the bomb solo.
Yeah.
And he's walking long.
Yeah. Oh, you can't even put a number on that type of a round. That one, it would shatter your soul. Like, just when you go back and watch it in the demo and understand exactly how it transpired. He's pipped the perfect gap. He's used the smoke against them. Lackey's rotated to get himself in a more power position. Little does he know that was the round.
And you saw him consider it, but as soon as we saw him glance at long, see nothing on the right side of the smoke, he was operating under the assumption it was clear for the rest of the round.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
well,
look what it's left them with, Chad. It's not fun. Chiro having a little bit of a pot shot through that smoke. Nothing to report. But Gambit now back in the driving seat here, and Entropiq, with all the chips in the center of the table, it's 3 MP9s. Elian would once again have to find impact on his solo adventure. Ooh, Crad went pushing.
He pushed out real far. You see how far he was all the way out the doors there? So this is going to at least make things confusing for Gambit just to deal with that type of aggressive maneuver. That's not one that you normally see, right? So what kind of issues can that cause? Forrester does have the other big gun, and he's on that B site, right? So there's still a chance for Elian and the likes of Forrester to get some damage done here, especially with Hobbit on his lonesome. Ooh. That's a nice flash.
Yeah, Hobbit's safe from it, though, and Lackey will call it clear. That could be misinformation, and pulls out his smoke. He's ahead of it. Hobbit does fall to the MP9, and oh dear, the B defense is nothing. Nothing more than a bit of damage into Inters, and now the T's have taken some
he's pushing in, he's pushing in!
Lucky finishes the job. No, he doesn't. Down to 20 is Shiro. That could have been it, man. Now instead, the bomb is down, and what's Elian supposed to do?
I don't want to say save, but I feel that that is the only option. They don't know the HP of Shiro and Inters right now. If they only knew, they might consider this. Nickelback having a look through dark. If he can find something here, that can pull Elian back.
Yeah, and a no-kit retake as well, so... Happy to find Shiro. Nafany mantles up and loudly stepping here. Nickelback, doesn't clear. And Elian's going to have to retreat now with 10 HP. He is just going to be hunted down just for the escape. Everyone low. Needs to be clear of that bomb blast.
Oof. All right, well, he's secured his avenue out of things now, so bomb will go off. That's 15 for Gambit, and now at this stage of the game, where the loss bonus is at, it's Gambit's game to lose. This was the initial... Look at this. He was noisy about that as well. That is crazy that he caught Axel off guard. I don't think anyone's expecting that type of a maneuver. Inters with a safe couple there.
Yeah, and he saved them as well. I think Shiro was dead in another millisecond. Lackey's push, just a bit hectic on that MP9 spray. Couldn't level them out.
Elian gets the AWP again. If you want to show that you're a superstar AWPer, now would be the time. A lot of pressure on your shoulders here, mate, but comes with the territory.
No one's boosting him. He always just goes for these solo adventures, but he could get pushed on that Xbox. And a boost is how he dies. Yeah. Nice find. Hobbit set up on the tower. Deals with the aggressive AWPing presence, and it's an irretrievable AWP as well. Great tag. One in return. Lackey on notice. Still hitting out some scout shots. He's tagged up Shiro as well with that. So now that deagle from Forrester becomes a whole lot more potent. Center of mass. Couple of clicks, could lose Hobbit. You won't, because Nafany's arrived and looks to be closing out Dust2 with the Krieg. Nickelback, oh, it bounced off him. Nafany, very unfortunate not to finish the final 3 damage. But they're into B. Nickelback and Crad to defend themselves, and all of their hard work already won through the smoke. A dribble smoke perhaps for Crad to worm through. Hobbit's even coming in behind him.
As soon as Hobbit clears this, it's all over.
Oh, maybe not, Crad. Deals with the flank at the bare minimum. Another close one, but Gambit have struck their revenge. Just Crad last to take... He's taking some pot shots for sure. Not far off of Axel's head, and that's the end of that. 16-13, 29 rounds of play. Gambit leave with the W, and now setting sights on that 2-0 conversion, locking themselves in for the playoffs with a W.